You see like Jawa's just getting shot for target practice, and they're fighting with him, like, and you're like, I don't know what the hell they're saying, but this is awesome. What's up, everybody? Regan here alongside Steven for Comic Vomit, episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. And today we are talking about Mandalorian Season 2 trailer, which I know absolutely nothing about. On the line with us today is Mr. Jaime Coker, who also knows quite a bit about the Mandalorian. So, gentlemen, take it away. I'll chime in where I can with my questions.
Awesome.
That's us.
All right, cool.
Okay, so we got to be focused. Mandalorian Season 2. Let's start with 1.
Mandalorian.
Because we have
Start
this.
with 1?
We have this little guy here. So nice. season 1, essentially the impetus of the Mandalorian was that spaghetti western. We're gonna take Star Wars into a completely different genre, and we're gonna take the hottest character we've got, the Mandalorian, and we're gonna do a series based on this costume.
Right.
So they basically got everybody hot and bothered just based on that. Nobody even knew about the child or Baby Yoda at that point.
Yeah, the thing was that I remember seeing some initial photos for that armor, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I mean, if they do something with it, that'll be awesome. But then once Baby Yoda came out, I mean, that sealed the deal. I knew from the trailers and everything I'd heard about it that I wanted to see this so bad. I was like, Star Wars needs a win, man. They really needed a win because the new series of movies, people were just not digging it. And some of the people I was talking to at conventions and things, they were like, yeah, that Mandalorian series, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's how it's going to be. And I was like, well, something needs to happen because the movies are kind of, they were so-so. People weren't loving them the way they should have been.
Yeah.
And as constituted, they just weren't, in my opinion, adding a whole lot to the mythology as far as like being the movies that were going to be revered in years to come. Mandalorian hits, I start watching that, I'm already hooked. And then the child comes out, and Trisha, my wife, is just like, oh, like it's almost like the heavens opened up, the sunlight shines through, and Baby Yoda is like the Messiah. It's like, yeah.
Well,
she was into it.
Well, they completely trolled us. It was like they were like, okay, it's going to be a spaghetti western. We're going to focus on everything that dudes in their 40s are going to like. And then all of a sudden they drop it, and the audience just went like this to this in one episode. And then all of a sudden it's like must-watch event. And they did the opposite of the Netflix. Instead of dropping it all, and you just knew that like basically 80% of North America was going to take Monday off if they did that. And they did it weekly drops, and then everybody's like, oh my god, I got to see what Baby Yoda is so cute. And the greatest thing that they did from a marketing perspective is they intentionally didn't give the character a name. So essentially it's just the child.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like you, to your point about dropping the episodes weekly, you build up that excitement. You know, it's crazy because like most shows nowadays are just like, here's the whole season, binge it all. And the Mandalorian was like, yeah, that's cute and all, but we're gonna drop just sprinkle a little bit at a time, and you're gonna enjoy what we give you. Yeah. And they did it, and oh my gosh, I can't think of anyone who doesn't love that show.
Well, it's like Disney Plus, it was like the new platform. So everything was hinging on Mandalorian. And I remember the first day of going on Disney Plus, I'm like, okay, this is all, where's the new stuff? And they were like, don't need it. We got Mandalorian. Oh, sorry, I just went into Trump there for a second. Baby Yoda's gonna be huge. All right, so let's go right to the cliffhanger. So the cliffhanger at the end is they establish who the big bad is that wants Baby Yoda. We don't know why he wants Baby Yoda. They establish that it's the way that he now has to find the family for Baby Yoda, and essentially he's been bonded to the child, and even though they might be enemies of the Mandalorian, this is the way. So he's like off. So I guess it's the spaghetti western version of he rides off into the sunset.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Oh man, all I know is when that last season ended, I was like super stoked, but I was like, well, being as how the Jedi and the Mandalorians had a past, which they kind of touched on in like the animated series, Clone Wars, it was with the fall of Mandalore and everything, it was kind of, well, I wonder how this is going to play out in a live action series. And knowing that he's now quested with getting this child to, as he calls it, was it magical wizards or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean,
a tribe of magical wizards.
I mean, I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Well, you know, the hardcore fans are like, oh, no, it isn't. Oh, no, it ain't. Magical wizards. Go see Harry Potter for magical wizards. We're talking about full-fledged Jedis.
The funny thing is, when I saw that trailer for the first time, I thought, so they're going to take it to a tribe of magical wizards. Is he going to show up on Hogwarts and be like, do you have a place for this little one here? You know?
Break out the sorting hat. Regan's sitting here like, don't care.
No, I'll be cropping myself out at this point.
This is edgy McKay. This is where you can take that extended pee break like last time. So the one thing so we're going to start segueing into, this is basically the longest opening ever, but to segue into the actual trailer. So I know that the deep cuts and the true fans really got their excitement up when the big bad cuts out of the TIE fighter and he reveals the Darksaber for the first time in live action.
Oh my gosh, I geeked out so hard on that moment. Moff Gideon starts cutting his way out and kicks. Yeah, oh man, that was. I couldn't even say anything when I saw that. That was amazing. It's one of those moments where you're just like, and you just stop breathing for a second, and you're like, oh my gosh, and it finally registers. It's. I can't wait. Cannot wait, Steven. So it's going to be one of my top moments of 2020.
So basically, they introduced this new lightsaber, which only deep cut fans will get, and you know everybody else will be like my wife, who turned to me and said, "It comes in black."
Yeah. Exactly.
Black lightsabers matter, man.
Oh yeah.
So the thing that popped in my head as the deep cut is like, okay, number one, how do you get that? Because the last time we saw the Darksaber was in Rebels, when Sabla picks it up. So that opens up the door to a whole bunch of other questions, and we'll get into the speculation as we dive into the trailer. So have you seen the trailer?
Oh my gosh, I think I've seen it probably 6-7 times.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
So what are your thoughts of the trailer?
Oh man. Okay, so first off, it looks like the season's going to be the journey to Mando's journey towards finding the tribe, as he calls it. It looks like it's going to be a lot of action, which is really cool. I noticed right away there was no confirmed confirmation of any of the characters that is rumored to be in the season. Mm-hmm. There was no Ahsoka, there was no Sabine Wren, there was no Boba Fett. It was just kind of, I think even Rex is rumored to be in this season, but none of those characters appear in the trailer.
Nope.
And so you're pretty much just taking in all this like action and excitement. The Razor Crest looks like it's on its last legs, about to crash. The baby is cute as all hell. I mean, you can't say enough about the kid. But you know, one thing I think that I think I read or saw somewhere was what's really interesting is the planet that you see the Razor Crest kind of like, you know, about ready to crash, that ice planet with the deep gouge, the gorge in it, is actually ties into the latter series of films, apparently. Like
Crate?
Was it Planet Ilum?
Was it Crate? What, the one from Last Jedi?
Yeah, the one they turned into Starkiller Base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's rumored that planet is the one that gets turned into Starkiller Base.
So here's another one that's I don't know if you've heard about this one, but apparently they're getting Mark Hamill to do an episode, and they're gonna do the whole Robert Downey Jr. De-aging thing to play Luke Skywalker in a episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that. I heard he might do a voice, but I didn't hear about that he was going to be actually appearing on there.
Yeah, well, I just love the way, because season 1, they kept it very narrow focused in terms of, we're going to do a true spaghetti western. We're going to focus on this individual character, and you're never going to see his face. And this is going to be his journey. And now, essentially, on that last episode, they said, okay, now that we've got you hooked, we're going to start introducing deep cuts. And we're going to start expanding the expanded universe and start integrating all these characters in. So I think this is going to be an opportunity for, because one of the directors was also the mastermind behind the whole Rebel, like the animation stuff, right? Rebels.
Filoni.
Yeah, Dave Filoni. So it's like, I think this is going to be his vehicle to answer some of those questions that were left at the end of both Clone Wars, in terms of what happened to some of the clones there, and the end of Rebels, because at the end of the Rebels, essentially they get trapped on the Star Destroyer. It goes to the far reaches of space, and Ahsoka and Sabine jump on a spaceship basically to do this quest to find them. And this is kind of an opportunity to kind of bring it full circle and kind of answer some of those questions while continuing on the narrative and the journey of the Mandalorian and the child.
Yeah. It's funny. Isn't it funny how some of these Star Wars series are the ones that are left to fill in the blanks from the movies? Like Rebels, like Clone Wars, like this.
Because they did such a good job.
They should just hand over all of Star Wars to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and just call it good. Like, they know what they're doing.
Well, I love that. Like, we're getting off topic here in terms of the trailer itself, but I love the recent rumor where they're like, George Lucas did not like the sequel trilogy, so we're gonna just cut it off, and he's gonna do it again.
Oh boy!
Just not without any of the original cast.
Oh, that's asking for trouble.
I was just like, well, they had me on the sequel trilogy. Did you see the sequel trilogy at all?
No.
Have you seen any Star Wars?
No.
Oh, right, man. Eye candy. This is for you, girls. The rest is for us middle-aged geeks.
The original 3. I saw the original 3, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay, you got out on the high. So it's like the stock market. So basically, you got out on the high before the crash of 1998.
Same thing with Batman too.
But yeah, just to echo off what you said, the interesting thing is like as much as the main movies are supposed to drive the main narrative, it's become the supporting mediums, the comic books, the novels, Disney Plus series, animation. Those are the ones where it's the storytelling's a lot more stronger. So you have to wonder. It's like, could it be that Disney is so hyper focused in terms, we paid $4 billion for this thing, and gosh darn it, we want to make it back in one movie. and then Solo comes out.
Solo.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on Solo.
It was a good idea, but I think it's like you get hang up. It's like through the whole movie, I was like, it doesn't look anything like Harrison Ford. I couldn't
get past it.
Like, if you're gonna spend $300 million, just get 75-year-old Harrison Ford to play the 25 version, and we'll just throw everything we've got in terms of an effects budget in. Like, they basically shot the movie twice.
Yeah.
All right, bring it back. We're talking about everything but. All right, so what in terms of we love the trailer. They don't give anything away. In typical trailer fashion, they give you all the hype up, and they give you a nice little, and Baby Yoda's in it, and he's going to be real cute. How much did you love the scene where they're basically, you're going to like this, They have like the gladiator wrestling scene, and they have a little
I
conversation.
saw the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay, he saw the trailer. He saw the trailer, folks. He's so up to it.
I thought for a second that scene that was the restaurant from Star Wars.
Well, they replicate that in every movie
Looked
now.
like it.
Every movie's got to have a cantina scene. It's basically, it worked in 77. We're going to put it in everything. So let's ask you, as an outsider looking in, you watched the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the trailer in terms, like, did it grab you? Like, because I know you've probably heard the noise. It's like, this thing has made a lot of noise.
It's made a lot of noise, and I know a lot of people that are diehards on the show. It's not a lack of interest in Star Wars. Star Wars is very nostalgic for me because it does go back to like '83. It would be the last time I really watched one, and I actually always liked the character of Boba Fett. Like, I've still got all these. You want to talk about toys? I've got that whole play set at my parents' house.
Which one?
Death Star, all the original characters.
Do you have the cardboard one?
Lightsaber. What's the cardboard?
The cardboard Death Star. Do you remember in 1977?
It's the 3-level one.
Oh, the plastic one?
Yeah, it had the elevator and stuff on it.
Okay, that's the plastic one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You can tell who's older, right?
so basically, and I like the character Boba Fett. So when I saw it, that's the first thing I thought is that was the same character.
Yeah.
And so from a nostalgia perspective, like even you said the cantina and all that, I've even said over the years that I'd like to go back and watch this whole thing from start to finish, or start and then go back and then go forward. However, I know that the timeline's different, but so yeah, for that reason, yes. It's nostalgia that draws me to it. Like, I thought it was a good trailer. It definitely seems like it's got that kind of superhero type vibe to it, and it was mainly though it's the nostalgia of it that would make me like, I will watch some of that. I will go back to season 1 and watch it, but for me it's Star Wars nostalgia. It's not. As a new series, I probably wouldn't jump on it just because I don't get into sci-fi that much.
Yeah.
But nostalgia draws me all the time. Like,
Well, I recommend if you do watch it, get the kids, sit them down and say, look, you're going to hate this for the first 40 minutes. But I guarantee you, if you're not oohing and ahhing after this is done and want to watch the rest of them, we're going on a shopping spree to Toys R Us.
does Baby Yoda come out in first episode?
At the very end.
Okay.
The Baby Yoda is the cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because basically, Baby Yoda is the MacGuffin
Yeah.
of the whole series, but nobody knows. All you know at the beginning is that it's a mark, and the Mandalorian gets the job to secure this mark. But all he knows is that it's 50 years old, and that it's an asset, and that the value of it is like the value. If he brings this back, he's going to get paid beyond riches.
Right.
To the
Right.
point where they offer him a rare metal, like a stack of the rare metal that's partial to the Mandalorian because it was lost from his people during the siege of his planet. A stack of this stuff. And he's like, I'm on it. Done. I don't care. But at the end of the episode, apparently more than one bounty hunter is tasked with this. So he has that challenge as well. So he realized not only is he walking into a trap to secure the asset, but there's also competition that he has to try to get around too. And it does callbacks. It does callbacks to Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that deep cut. So if you're a fan of essentially the entire season 1 is deep cuts in terms of it's not a direct lineage to the original trilogy, but there's a lot of like the second episode he has to go to Tatooine. And basically his ship gets stolen by Jawas.
Okay.
So the entire episode is him trying to get his ship back from these Jawas, and it has like the sand crawler, and you see like Jawas just getting shot for target practice, and they're fighting with him like, and you're like, I don't know what the hell they're saying, but this is awesome. They introduce an Ugnaught. And they talk about like how his race was enslaved by the Empire, and he bought his freedom, and it's played by Nick Nolte.
Oh God, yeah.
And you're like, he looks a little short for Nick Nolte, but he has spoken. So there.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, they do a lot of these. Oh, they and another one in season episode 4, I think he ends up landing in the same hangar the Millennium Falcon takes off in Tatooine, and basically
nice.
they're walking by the same sets.
Okay.
And at the end of that, you hear cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And the cha-ching is supposed to be a foreshadowing of Boba Fett.
Okay.
So the reason why Boba Fett is the only character in Star Wars that has spurs.
Okay.
And the reason why George Lucas gave him spurs was because he modeled him after the spaghetti westerns and the cowboys. So the deep cut there is if you know that Boba Fett, because in Empire Strikes Back, the last thing you're listening for is spurs, but it's there. So if you know Boba Fett has spurs, you know he's coming, and they don't say anything about it. So the deep cuts. So you're gonna be like, oh my god, I remember that from Star Wars. Oh my god, I remember that from Empire. It's just, and they don't. There's no direct correlation to it. It's just all visual callbacks, monster callbacks. It's just there's nothing direct. So if you sit down and watch it, I'm guarantee you the kids will love it.
I'm gonna try and go back to season 1 on the weekend and watch a couple episodes.
Yeah.
I was gonna try last night, but it was just too much pressure.
Oh, I'm telling you right now.
Is Apollo Creed in the show?
Yeah.
I thought so. That's the reason they ain't alone. I'm a huge Apollo Creed.
And he's amazing. Right?
Yeah,
Apollo Creed.
guy.
So Apollo Creed plays. He's the bounty hunt. He's basically the agent to the bounty hunters.
Okay.
And he gives like these pucks out, right? And if you have this puck, all the information of your target is on these pucks, right? Mm-hmm. And you hit it, and you see like the little hologram, and they give you all the stats and everything float around. And he basically divvies these all out, and it evolves as the season evolves. It's basically the Mandalorian keeps screwing him. That's not what you're supposed to do. But it's like they keep trying to double cross each other.
Yeah.
And that relationship evolves to the end. I don't want to give it up to you because there's a pivotal moment there that really evolves that relationship. And then there's another character. Have you ever seen Deadpool?
No.
Okay. So
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it.
So do you know the actress's name?
Oh, the one that plays Cara Dune?
Yeah, Cara Dune.
That is, oh my gosh, I can't not believe.
Former UFC fighter.
Yeah,
I know who you mean. I can't think of her name either.
She's also the villain in Deadpool. But she plays a former rebel shock trooper from Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yep.
And essentially her storyline is that when the Rebel Alliance became political because they were in power now, she couldn't happen. She wanted to kill Empire, like stormtroopers. She didn't want to escort diplomats and protect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's a fighter, not a lover. And just the way they introduce her and evolve her into it is just really cool.
I can't think of her name now. I know exactly who you mean, though.
And she really kicks ass.
Oh, yeah.
And I apologize to my wife in advance, but she's cute. Yeah, give prop.
Gina Carano.
Huh?
That's her name.
Gina Carano.
Her name is
that's it.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
yeah.
And I'm sorry for everybody who's been yelling at their computer or phone. Gina Carano, come on! You call yourself a fan? Off.
Hey, I only had one cup of coffee today.
Sorry. I'm on 5 or 6.
I'm on my first two. Starting to kick in.
So anyways, basically everybody who's seen the series is like, oh, come on, I thought you were going to talk about the trailer. But anyways, we have to catch them up, guys. We got to catch them up.
Yeah.
So you got to watch it. It's really cool. Okay, so any closing notes on the trailer at all?
The one thing I can say for sure is based on what I've heard through the grapevine, the trailer is basically tailored for those people that don't really watch the series and are just kind of entertaining the idea of like, hey, the Mandalorian's back, versus the hardcore fans who are definitely like, okay, where's this character, where's that character, because they've seen the videos or read on message boards. The trailer is basically for the fair weather fan, but once this thing starts, it's going to blow up.
They did give us one little piece. So when he's walking through a marketplace, they cut to a mysterious woman just watching on in the distance. And I'm like, is that Ahsoka? I don't think so. That doesn't look anything like Rosario Dawson.
No.
And then, but it's so quick, and I would not put it past Lucasfilm that they kind of face swapped it. I bet you it's a face swap.
Well, it could be, but you know who that is, right?
No.
That's WWE star Sasha Banks.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, that's her.
Well, I got out of wrestling after The Rock left, so I
The
could
rumor has it she is going to be Sabine Wren, but it's not confirmed.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
not confirmed.
So Mandalorian season 2 is going to be starting
October 30th.
October 30th. Episode 1, season 2 drops. Everybody's going to be breaking out their magnifying glasses, rolling back, tearing apart every frame, trying to see what they can find. But we'll all be watching. Except for Regan, who's on episode 2 trying to catch up.
And I mean, to your point earlier, it's like this is the kind of show that rewards the longtime fans plus the new fan.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that episode last season? They based the vehicle that the stormtroopers were in off that old Star Wars toy.
Oh,
the transport.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all going to be looking for stuff like that, which is so great with this show because it's not just a show for the fans, but it's like it's just like they insert the Easter egg and they have great storytelling, which we've needed for so long now.
Yeah. So we want everybody to know the reason why we asked you to come on, not because for just your jovial personality and amazing laugh, your James Earl Jones laugh. We also want everybody to know that you did a trilogy of the Mandalorian pieces, which is available on MBartist.com and
JaimeCokerCreations.com.
So let's talk a little bit. So your love for the show inspired you to do this, or was this just pure demand?
No, I did. The way I work a lot of times is if I'm a fan of something, I tend to want to draw it. And so once I saw the first episode of The Mandalorian and even the stuff leading up to that episode, I was like, I don't know what it is, but man, I have a great feeling about this show. I'm going to hop on it now and get this drawn and get this out of my system. And once I started drawing it, I could not stop. Like I have, I think 1 or 2 unfinished ones that I was going to do eventually, but I'll get around to those sooner or later. But I mean, that show is amazing. As you can attest, it's like you see something, you see some artwork out there, whether it be film, video, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, whatever, and it just inspires you. It makes you want to give of yourself to add to this legacy. And when I saw that, I was like, man, if I can somehow add to this, I'll be a happy man.
And also to let you know, Josh let me know that to celebrate season 2 starting, we're gonna do a little promo code. Hopefully, we can get Regan to put one just underneath Baby Yoda here to show where to get the promo code. But we're gonna do a special on the trilogy, so that we can hype up the excitement and just get the love out there. Some Jaime Coker love.
Awesome.
Hanging on some walls.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jamie, any final thoughts before we let you rock and roll?
Oh, just thanks for having me on. I'm super excited to be doing the show again. If you guys need me to do another one, you know where I am. And make sure you check out Jaime Coker Creations, MBartist.com.
I just been told by Regan we're gonna bring you on every week. We gotta bring everybody in on our Motu conversation.
Really? Okay.
Oh, like a special segment.
Special segment, master. And for people who don't know what Motu is, it's Masters of the Universe. And Jamie is a big G.I. Joe fan. And as a Canadian, I do not understand the love and affection, but he suckered me in on this new line. All right, Jamie. I'm going to let you go before you sucker me in on another line.
Oh, don't worry. I'll work my magic. You'll be buying something else before you know it.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going to have to stop doing these shows because the wife goes, "You did what now?"
Oh, my gosh.
All right, brother.
Take care,
All
Jamie.
right.
We'll talk to you
Take
soon,
it
buddy.
easy. Thank you.
It's like 35 minutes long.
Oh, that was awesome. That was fun as all get out.
We're going to keep the closer short because the chit chat was long. My apologies for my lack of participation. I did my best. It's not for lack of interest in The Mandalorian. I actually am going to watch the series and maybe we can revisit and do an update on what I thought of it. But yeah, that's all for this week, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week, same MBartist time.
Can we do we didn't do a Batman thing. Can we do a Batman thing?
Just for random?
Just random.
Okay.
Random Batman thing. Random Baby Yoda thing.
And we're back, and that was your Batman for the show.
Oh,
Have a good week, everybody. Have a good weekend. We will talk to you soon.
Bye.